joy forecasting.
Member societies of the Theravada Buddhist Council, Malaysia, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, and fellow Buddhist friends. Welcome to the Venerable Dhammavuddho's first anniversary commemoration streamed via Facebook and YouTube live from Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple. This commemoration complements with the launching of late Bante's book, Life Well Lived, and there are two parts to this event. Tributes and testimonies from the Monastic Advisory Panel, venerable members of the Mahasangha, and devotees, as well as the book launch and presentation. The commemoration will start at 10 a.m., which is exactly 6 minutes. So in the meantime, just sit back, relax, and rejoice the joyous Buddhist hymns coupled with snippets of Venerable Dhammavuddho. Very good morning, venerable members of the Mahasangha, member societies of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, and fellow Buddhist friends. Welcome to the Venerable Dhammavuddho's first anniversary commemoration stream via Facebook and YouTube, live from Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple, Sentul. I'm Brother Brian Goh, and it gives me great honor to be your MC for today. To begin today's commemoration, let us put our palms together as we now invite Most Venerable Botawate Sri Saranangara Nayagamathera, Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia Monastic Advisory Panel of Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple Sentul to administer and to lead us in the observance of the 3 refuges and taking of the 5 precepts.
So the Precept Pancasila, Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Saranam gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranam gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranam gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Yampi buddhang saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Yampi dhammang saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Yampi buddhang saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Yampi dhammang saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Yampi sanghang saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Anatipata virmani samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Natana virmani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sumicchācara virmani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu mincacara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Avada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Ni panca sikapadani samadhiyami. Idiyampi dimani panca sikapadani samadhiyami. Tatiyampi panca sikapadani samadhiyami.
Saking Panchasilam Dhammang Sadhukang Surakkhitam Katva Appamadena Sampadena Sile Yanti Silena Yanti Tasma
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Venerable Sir. Once again, a very good morning, Venerable members of the Mahasangha, member societies of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, and fellow Buddhist friends. Welcome to Venerable Dhammavuddho's first anniversary commemoration stream via Facebook and YouTube live from Sri Lankan Buddhist Temple, Sentul. Venerable Dhammavuddho, fondly known as Bante Hai, was born on 29 September 1947 as the youngest of 8 children in the Baba Nyonya family. He attended formal schooling in a Catholic missionary school and also went on to continue with his tertiary education at University of Malaya, graduated with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Venerable was ordained as a monk in the Theravada Mahanikaya tradition in Thailand, where he spent his first rain retreat at Wat Pa Nanachat in Ubon, Ratchathani, Thailand in 1986. In 1989, he returned to Wat Pa Nanachat in Ubon Ratchathani, where he joined Ajahn Pasanyo to practice seclusion near the Thailand-Myanmar border. He made his return to Malaysia in 1990 and stayed in a cave in Penang, which was later renamed Vihara Buddha Gautama Cave for the next 7 years. In 1998, he established Vihara Buddha Gautama VBG in Temor, Perak, and served as its chief abbot until his passing. Venerable Dhammavuddho was instrumental in convening the first Sangha gathering on 17 July 2005 with the aim of uniting Malaysian Theravada Sangha members, and also assisted in establishing the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia and subsequently appointed to its monastic advisory panel. He passed away peacefully at Vihara Buddha Gautama on 29 December last year. Earlier this year, there was supposed to be a 100-day event to commemorate the late Venerable Dhammavuddho on 21st of March, with meetings and planning already in place. However, it was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, leading to the birth of social distancing and new norm, the MCO and lockdowns in Malaysia and worldwide, thus led to cancellations of events and gatherings. Brothers and sisters, these adversities, however, is a great time for cultivation and reflection. And despite all these adversities, we still managed to make today's commemoration ceremony happen with the help of technology. Today, we honor a great teacher and commemorate his outstanding Dhamma missionary works. To continue with today's event, let us put our palms together as we now honorably invite Most Venerable Bhutawate Sri Saranankara Nayaka Mahathera, Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia Monastic Advisory Panel and Chief Abbot of Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple, Sentul, and Brother Tan Leng Huat, the organizing chairperson and past president of Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia, to share their fond memories plus paying tribute to Venerable Dhammavuddho.
Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, first year anniversary, late Venerable Dhammavuddho. Venerable Dhammavuddho, we never ever able to forget his contribution. His contribution towards the Malaysian, those who are people keen for the Sutra studies and the Buddhist meditation. He spent the time to take care of the devotees, the members, not only his own center, various other Buddhist centers as well. Most Venerable, when he started Vihara Buddha Gautama, he had a lot of challenges, but he able to overcome each and every one of them. Even sometimes the people little criticism, having such a monastery, but he take with a smile, with the metta, with the compassion, with the loving kindness. He able to done wonderful contribution towards Malaysian Buddhist community. Commemorating such an important the event, Theravada Buddhist Council realize, understand, one of the panel advises to commemorate in this manner, even though situation not allowed to have vast gathering, but we able to hold it very meaningful gathering or ceremony to commemorate Most Venerable late Bhante. Many of people he know him, his Dhamma propagation part, but there's another hidden generosity he's always having. Once we organized the educare program, he was personally go to nearest school, able to take part by himself, the distributing school item for the Christian, Muslim, Hindu children as well. I highly appreciate his generosity. He come out his personal, some certain occasion, I understand, he able to help many people, needy people as well. That is generosity, that is dana he able to practice, or he not only receiving dana, he able to give dana to others as well. Brothers and sisters, this commemoration for the 1 year, the most important thing, taking his teaching, taking the example, taking his role model into your own heart. Develop inner quality, inner development, inner purification, oneself mind. If you want to honor him, not the ceremonies, not the any other ways, continue his wonderful teaching, put in the day-to-day practices, make you a better person. Time to come, we can for the late Venerable, nothing else, practice Dhamma well. Thank you very much. Appreciated each and every one of your concern, generosity, as well as for the commemorating such a meaningful occasion. Thank you.
Venerable members of the Mahasangha, thank you for allowing me to speak. Dear devotees, the Buddha's message is universal. That is to find happiness from within through the wisdom of seeing things as is. Meaning, we curtail our senses and not to allow the perception to take lead all the time. This message has been consistently shared and widely explained by the late Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathero, fondly known by the local devotees as Bante Hai. The launching of this book, coinciding with the Memorial Day today, is a celebration of Venerable Dhammavuddho's life of service to the Buddha Sasana. I am impressed by his excellent English and the local Chinese dialects, which enable him to reach out to the English and Chinese-speaking people in Malaysia. This is very significant, as he is one of the very few Chinese-speaking Theravada monks in Malaysia. It was this ability to bridge barriers, whether linguistic, cultural, or ethnic, that made Venerable Dhammavuddho's approach to the teaching so popular. This was proven through the success of Vihara Buddha Gautama, which he established, as well as through his numerous talks in Malaysia and abroad, which was very well attended. Venerable Dhammavuddho was instrumental to the formation of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. He was one of the monastic advisors of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia since its establishment. Many executive committee have benefited personally from his advice and leadership. I was told that Venerable has 3 aims since he donned the robes. First was to develop himself spiritually through living a solitary life of meditation in the forests and caves of Thailand for 11 years. His second aim was to build a monastery where the original teachings of the Buddha will be taught and practiced. That came to fruition with the founding of Vihara Buddha Gautama in 1998. His third aim was to hand over the reins of the monastery to the next generation of monks once it has been firmly established. Venerable Dhammavuddho had succeeded in this aim by handing over the reins of the monastery to his able disciple Venerable Tavaro. Venerable Dhammavuddho's demise is still keenly felt by us today, but we are comforted by the fact that his positive impact will live through the people who have benefited from his teachings. This book is a fitting way to honor his memory and his legacy. A life well lived. I offer my sincere appreciation to the publisher, Nalanda Buddhist Society, the editorial team members who have done a tremendous job in producing this publication. I hope that everyone who have benefited from this book will be inspired to continue to uphold the teachings of the Buddha, thus just as Venerable Dhammavuddho did. May Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathero attain Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Venerable Sir and Brother Tan Leng Huat, for their touching messages. Brothers and sisters, we should now sit back and relax as we will now play you part 1 of a 2-minute snippet of a feature presentation entitled Venerable Dhammavuddho, A Life Well Lived. In this video, you'll get to understand in depth on what inspired him to join the monastic order. Take a look.
When I started to study the books about Buddhism, things started to happen. Basically the Buddha's teachings talk about anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and no self. And I started to see death. It happened within a span of 2 or 3 years. About 5 people, I witnessed the dying of 5 people. So that was 5 deaths made me see impermanence so clearly that it kind of forced me to become a monk.
Brothers and sisters, we hope that you gained insights and felt inspired by part 1 of the 2-minute snippet. There will be 3 more parts of the snippets that we will play later as we move along. In the meantime, we shall now continue with more tributes and messages as we now honorably invite Venerable Ayasma Agachita and Venerable Jutipanyo, both who are also on the monastic advisory panel of Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia, to share their fond memories of their time with Venerable Dhammavuddho. They will be delivering their messages in English and Mandarin respectively.
Today, we pay tribute to the memory of our late Ayasma Dhammavuddho, who played such an important, active and influential role in propagating the Dhamma among Theravada Buddhists in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. To me, the late Ayasma Dhammavuddho was the father of Sutta studies in Malaysia. Although he could not have direct access to the Pali scriptures in the original language, he nevertheless made good use of English translations to explain the suttas in Hokkien and English to the best of his understanding. Today, his legacy still remains in his numerous booklets, audio and video recordings published for free distribution. I have also been supplementing his efforts to encourage Buddhists to rely more on the suttas by conducting sutta study with meditation workshops in Malaysia and Singapore. These workshops are designed for interactive participation and are oriented towards practical application in Dhamma practice. I also remember Asma Dhammavuddho as an initiator of the annual Malaysian Sangha meetings. Upon checking my records, I uncovered a few interesting details which I think most people are not aware of. So today I would like to share them with you. In 2004, a group of 17 Malaysian Theravada monks met to elect the successor to the late Pra Wong Chandapanyo as the abbot of Balai Pulau Buddhist Hermitage in Penang. They all unanimously agreed to hold annual Sangha meetings in order to unite the Chinese and English-speaking Malaysian Theravada monks who are not members of any existing Theravada Sangha Council or association in Malaysia. At that meeting, the late Asma Dhammavuddho proposed that the first of such annual events be held at Vihara Buddha Gautama. Its abbot, Asma Dhammavuddho, graciously agreed. And so, on Sunday, the 17th of July 2005, 20 Malaysian Theravada monks met at Vihara Buddha Gautama in what was then called the first Sangha Council of Malaysian Theravada monks. In that meeting, it was decided that the annual event was to be held in different venues on a rotation basis. So the following year, it was held in SBS under the name the Second Sangha Meeting of English and Chinese-speaking Malaysian Theravada monks. Unfortunately, after a few years, the event was curtailed because the monk who was assigned the job of organizing the event for that year could not do so, and he did not pass on the responsibility to somebody else. However, in 2018, in a plenary meeting of the monastic advisory panel and the EXCO members of TBCM, I urged TBCM to rejuvenate the annual event. At that meeting, we discussed more about how to go about it, and we decided to expand the eligibility of participation to be more inclusive so that non-Malaysian Theravada monks who are actively engaged in Dhamma propagation activities in Malaysia could also join. And so the first one was held in Vihara Buddha Gautama in 2018, and the following year it was held in SJBA. Unfortunately, this year's event had to be cancelled because of the pandemic. Talking about TBCM, as you all know, the late Asma Dhammavuddho was a founding member of its monastic advisory panel. I remember we spent considerable time together with the other founders during its conception and the drafting of its constitution. Not only was Asma Dhammavuddho an avid proponent of sutta studies and an active Dhamma speaker in Hokkien and English, but he was also an ardent meditator who went on periodic solitary retreats in his cave in Ayia Hitam, Penang. In conclusion, as I mentioned earlier, although his legacy remains in his numerous publications, I hope we can all continue to honor him by following up on what he had initiated. That is to say, study the suttas and try to put what we have learned into practice in our daily lives as practicing Buddhists.
长老虽然已经离去，但是他永远还是存在我们的心中。希望通过今天的功德回向给长老。假如他还没有达正涅槃，我们希望通过这个功德的回向，成为一种资粮，希望他早正涅槃。最后呢，感谢上周部佛教理事会给我一个机会讲几句话，也希望各位心中不要忘记长老一生的教诲。虽然长老人已离去，但是他的教导还是存在我们的心中。希望大家不要放逸，在学佛的道路上，不要忘记长老的教诲，要努力精进，以便达正涅槃。好，谢谢各位。
Thank you, Venerable Sirs. For those of you who are unable to understand Venerable Jutipanyu's tribute in Mandarin, fret not, as I have the summary of his message translated to English as follows. Credits and special thanks to Sister Tan Yishin, my co-MC from Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple Sentul, who assisted me in translating Venerable's speech. Good morning, Chief Abbots, Venerable members of the Mahasangha, brothers, sisters, and friends in the Dhamma. First of all, I would like to thank the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia for organizing this commemoration for the late Bhante Dhammavuddho Mahathera as a remembrance for his efforts and contribution to society. Of course, late Venerable can be considered as a well-known, outstanding Sangha in Malaysia. During his lifetime, Bhante Dhammavuddho worked tirelessly in propagating the Buddha Dhamma, namely his efforts in restoring the heritage of Theravada Buddhism, which is undeniable. Right before my ordination as a monk, I had already heard his teachings and read some books written by late Venerable. One of the books that impressed me was Buddha's Saying. Since then, I started to have loads of interest in Theravada Buddhism. It made me wanting to know more, which resonates with the Buddha's teaching. Thereafter, I traveled to Thailand, where I was ordained as a monk. After 6 months, I came back and visited Bhante Dhammavuddho. At that time, he lived at a Dhamma center in Kuala Lumpur. When we first met, we talked a lot, and I was really impressed. I then established a Dhamma center in Pontian. We kept in touch with each other all the time, and I always invite Bhante Dhammavuddho to our Dhamma center for Dhamma sharing. I remembered I traveled to Indonesia with late Bhante for Dhamma activities, as well as to Hong Kong, where we organized a novitiate program. Late Bhante was very knowledgeable. I would consult him whenever I had doubts or questions. He is considered as one of my greatest teachers. We were very close. During our novitiate program, we have always invited him over to give Dhamma talks. Our devotees know him well. Furthermore, they frequently visited late Bhante at Vihara Buddha Gautama in Timor, mainly for practice of the Dhamma. Over the years, late Bhante's contributions and sacrifices in the Buddhist community are undeniable and gain high respects. Whatever he has taught us, let us always remember and cherish them with our hearts and minds. As the Buddha said, impermanence, and we have to face this reality. This morning in our temple, we offered dana to the Mahasangha and dedicated merits to late Bhante. I hope that through today's sharing of merits that we dedicated to late Bhante, if he has yet to attain Nibbana, we hope that these merits turn into virtues for him to attain the ultimate bliss of Nibbana soon. Lastly, I would like to thank the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia for giving me this opportunity to pay tribute to a wonderful Sangha. I hope all devotees will not forget the teachings of late Bhante. Even though he has left us, his teachings remain in our hearts and minds. Let's not become too relaxed in our practices and path. Remember to always practice what we have learned and work hard so that we would attain the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Thank you, everyone. Okay, brothers and sisters, we will now show you part 2 of the 2-minute snippet of Venerable Dhammavuddho, a live, well-lived feature presentation. Take a look.
After investigating the Buddha's discourses, I appreciate it so much, and I feel that it is my duty to spread it as much as possible.
Next, we would like to invite Venerable Pra Kru Udom Dhammapatiban, a monastic advisory panel for Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, and Venerable Tavaro, Abbot of Vihara Buddha Gautama, to share with us their fond memories and pay tribute to Venerable Dhammavuddho. For your info, Venerable Pra Kru Udom Dhammapatiban's message will be delivered by Pra Maha Nikpon on his behalf.
Bhante Hai or Dhammavuddho Bhikkhu was instrumental in the propagation of Buddhism in Malaysia. He was a founder of Vihara Buddha Gautama in Perak, in the state of Perak, and was a highly revered and respected monk in Malaysia, and especially among the Chinese followers. His knowledge in Dhamma had been a great source of inspiration for many of us. On behalf of the Siamese Buddhist monks in Malaysia, it is not much to say that with his demise, Malaysian Buddhists had lost a great and exemplary Dhamma teacher. May he attain the bliss of Nirvana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good morning, Venerable Sirs. Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. But firstly, I would like to thank TBCM for holding this first year anniversary electronic anniversary for late Venerable Dhammavuddho. I understand the first memorial has been planned since the beginning of 2020. However, it couldn't happen due to the pandemic. So until today, we have the opportunity to gather here and have this memorial for late Venerable Dhammavuddho. Without talking much, I would like to start my speech by sharing my perspective on a few things about Venerable. What are Venerable's Dhammavuddho principles while he was alive? How he had influenced the local Buddhism? And what are the changes that he would like to see in the Buddhist world going forward? In regards to his principles, whoever knows Bande will know that he spent large amount of his time to propagate the Dharma, teaching the Dharma. He tried so hard to restore the original teachings of the Buddha. And in this journey, he had offended many people and make a lot of enemies, which I think is not necessary, because what Bande have done is just make sure that Buddhists are informed in regards to what is the original teachings of the Buddha. They still have the choice to choose that what are the tradition or the kind of Buddhism that they would like to follow. I think it's important for a monk, a monastic, to inform the world about the Buddhism supported by historical evidence. It is not proper for anyone to share Buddhism purely based on metaphysical spiritual attainment experiences without the support of historical evidence, because Buddha himself existed 2,500 years ago in the world. So why we are not allowed to verify Buddhism from historical standpoint now? I don't see any point. Bande also is always strongly opposed the Bodhisattva ideal. However, I think that he probably not realized himself he was actually one of the greatest Bodhisattva. As said, he spent so much time teachings, propagating the Dharma, and left so little time for himself for spiritual cultivation. I think this is probably human nature, that we all hope for the good and benefit for others. In regards to the Buddha's teaching, that is to end the suffering, this is really world transcendental teachings. It is easier to be said than done, I think, for most of the people. But nevertheless, I think all the serious cultivator, monastic monks or nuns should really reflect. Isn't that the reason that we renounce the world? That is to end the suffering, rather than purely, entirely teaching the Dharmas only, without we ourselves attain the teachings given in the Sutta Vinaya. In regards to his influence to the Buddhism, the local Buddhism, I think because of Bante Hai's sharing, local Buddhists get to learn the most probable true teachings of the Buddha in relation to their historical evidence. This is very important, because as we know, all religion, not only Buddhism, goes through evolution, and a lot of personal idealism included under the label of Buddhism. So because of that, Buddhism is finally properly appreciated among the Buddhist community. So the world finally get to see the original Buddhism that can be characterized by the combination of faith and wisdom. When I say that, I mean one's salvation can be attained by one's own effort internally, not needing to seek for it externally through blessings, riches, or protections, or even the mercy at the mercy of others. So this is no longer the case as a follower of the Buddhism. In regards to the changes he would like to see for the future generations, I think one very important message he want to bring up during his lifetime is the teachings of the Buddha in the Sutta Vinaya or in the Nikayas are indeed important. It is not as some of the teachers, let it be monastic or lay, claims today that just practice and do not read, do not study, because that is just texture and not practical, not experiential. So I think that is not a fair statement, and neither did Bhante think that is a fair statement. Because as we know, in order to acquire a skill, we must first understand at the level of the knowledge level, right? We need to know what does it takes to get there. So we must learn the Buddha's teaching from Sutta Vinaya, from Nikaya, from the suttas, then put these teachings to the practice in our physical daily life. And having attained the wisdom, and we know how to walk the path, and we acquire the necessary direction, the view, the blueprint, the overall map, how to cultivate, how to walk this path, and not entirely rely on the words of others or traditions or oral traditions to invest our precious lifetime without strong evidence. I think that is risky. And also, we must be very prudent, must be very scrupulous in choosing the teachings that we want to put into practice, because we don't know how much time we have. Life is anicca. Bhante Hai already showed us that although he taken a lot of care for his health, take a lot of supplements, but still he stricken with terminal cancer and passed away because of that. So we too must be very careful and stringy with the selection of the teachings that we want to put into practice. So if we are too inclusive in terms of accepting all our teachings in our practice, then I'm afraid that we are just like sitting for an exam, right? We are only given so much time for our tests and examination. So if we not get to complete the test on time, then we'll live our life in vain. So I think this is what myself and Bhante Hai have in common. I would like to deliver this message to the world. So not entirely learn the teachings for the sake of knowing or for the sake of attaining some lower achievement, but to really enter the stream, walk out of this round of rebirth altogether. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Venerable Sirs. We shall now continue with part 3 of the 2-minute snippet of Venerable Dhammavuddho, a life well lived feature presentation. Take a look.
the various sects of Buddhism agree that the earliest discourses of the Buddha are what we call the Nikayas. Digha Nikaya is the long discourses of the Buddha. Majjhima Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya. These four in Mahayana Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, they call it Ahanjing. So this set of books, nobody disputes is the Buddha's words. Everybody accepts it is the Buddha's words.
We now humbly invite Sister Lim Ka Hong from the Nalanda Editorial Board and Brother Vipassi, who is representing lay devotees, to share with us their fond memories and pay tribute to Venerable Dhammavuddho.
Namo Buddhaya. Salutations and respects to venerable members of the Mahasangha, community leaders, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Good morning. I am Sister Ka Hong. On behalf of the Nalanda editorial team, I would like to express our thanks to the organizing committee of Venerable Dhammavuddho Memorial Day for involving us in remembering and celebrating the remarkable life of Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathera, who passed away last December. Time flies, but the memory of him lingers in our grateful minds. Firstly, we want to thank the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, TBCM, for giving us this opportunity to participate in the remembrance of Venerable Dhammavuddho. In late January this year, Brother Tan Kim Chan and several other TBCM EXCO members requested the Nalanda team to publish a book in honor of the late Venerable. The book was supposed to be launched on 21st March, leaving us with only 6 weeks to publish it. It was an extremely challenging task to write about someone's life in just 6 weeks. What more for the remarkable life of Venerable Dhammavuddho? But we humbly accepted this assignment out of respect and gratitude to Venerable, as well as our aspiration to support TBCM. We are thankful to Brother Kim Chan, Sister Julie Tan, Brother Chi Chi Seng, and Brother Lee Tek Beng for facilitating our work greatly by sharing many photographs of Venerable Dhammavuddho collected from the archives of Vihara Buddha Gautama, VBG, and from the personal collections of devotees and Buddhist organizations. We also respectfully thank Venerable Tavaro, the Abbot of VBG, for granting us an extended interview in order to write this book. We similarly thank Venerable Jutipanyo, the Abbot of Dhammalite Meditation Center, for granting us an interview as well. Their personal insights enable us to understand Venerable Dhammavuddho better as a person. Most important of all, we would like to thank Venerable Dhammavuddho himself. In his later talks, he narrated the experiences of his youth his journey to become a monk, and the building of VBG. His own narrations became the main source of information for this book. We are ever grateful to the wonderful team at Nalanda who worked joyfully and tirelessly over 6 weeks to complete the book. Our deep appreciation to Brother Kenny T for his invaluable support, to the accommodating printer, and to all donors and sponsors of the book from near and far. Thank you all. Given the short time for the editorial team to complete the book, we are sure there are many inadequacies and shortcomings on our part. For that, we sincerely ask for your forgiveness and understanding. Finally, we hope you will read the book and be inspired by the perseverance of Venerable Dhammavuddho in overcoming challenges he faced and his strong determination to succeed as a monk. We dedicate the merits of producing this book to Venerable Dhammavuddho. May he rejoice in our sincere efforts and attain the bliss of Nibbana. We wish everyone good health, happiness, and success. Thank you.
Greetings, everybody. Born in a Christian family and active with the church activities, it was not easy to change beliefs. It was the teaching and true understanding of Buddhism which Luang Por shared that actually made me understand this faith better and believe in the Sutta. Luang Por was a firm believer in the Sutta, and his personal opinion is final, and if one does not understand him or challenge him for more clarity, they would find him simply blunt. Blessed with this opportunity to serve him, we have seen his soft side. For example, Luang Por delivered groceries to poor families and to the extent of paying school fees for those children, even paying assessment bills, and etc. Groceries were even delivered to an orphanage operated for Muslim children. Luang Por was thrifty with the valuable donations received from devotees. He will not use it for himself, nor will he splash it on unnecessary items. For example, the materials used towards the construction of the new dormitory and dining at VBG were purchased by Luang Por. Only the workmanship was contracted out. Seam and aggregate tools were purchased by Luang Por. When asked why, his reply was, "We cannot simply use devotees' money except for a good cause." After completing of his SDs, he decided to go on road shows throughout the country. Luang Por recorded his talks on the 5 Nikayas, which is available on SD. This has benefited many, and I'm certain will continue to benefit more. Luang Por mentioned to me that as he is not getting any younger, he would love to give Dharma talks while he can. The last 2 years or so, I started driving Luang Por to venues for him to conduct Dharma talks and meeting. In early 2019, he started to show signs of weaknesses, but his reply was always that he did not get a good rest or that he was tired. During road shows, devotees would approach Luang Por and thank him for the positive changes in their lives or their loved ones just by listening to his SD. His standard reply was, "Continue to listen to my SD." Luang Por kept himself updated on topics like medicine, research into new discoveries, and the welfare of devotees. For my wife and myself, Luang Por made a change to our lives for the better, and we are ever so grateful for the opportunity to have learned so much from him and to have been given the opportunity to serve him when we had the golden opportunity. May Luang Por attain the bliss of Nibbana. I would like to give my sincere appreciation to the TBCM Council members for inviting me to this special event. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sister Lim and Brother Vipassi. Lastly, it gives us great pleasure to humbly invite Venerable Bante Vipula Silotera, Chief of Padesanayaka, South Sumatra and Jambi, and also Ibu Megawati Tandera, constructor and treasurer of Pusdiklat Sikadama Sriwijaya, both from neighboring Indonesia, to share with us their fond memories and pay tribute to Venerable Dhammavuddho.
Namo Buddhaya, kami mewakili Wihara Dhammawijaya dan Pusdiklat Sikadama Sriwijaya di Kota Palembang, wihara berbasis Theravada di Sumatera Selatan, Indonesia. Kami turut berduka cita atas berpulangnya Yang Mulia Biku Dhammavuddho 1 tahun yang lalu. Semoga Bante terlahir di alam bahagia. Kami mempunyai kesan yang sangat mendalam terhadap Bante Dhammavuddho. Beliau seorang yang sangat disiplin memegang winaya, seorang yang sangat rendah hati, bersahaja, dan sangat low profile. Bante berkesempatan hadir di Palembang dan mengisi Dhammadesana pada tanggal 28 Juli tahun 2012 di Celebrity Entertainment Center yang dihadiri oleh 1.000 peserta. Terima kasih Bante. Bante juga berkesempatan untuk mengisi Dhamma Talk pada saat di Celebrity tersebut dengan judul Tradisi dan Ajaran Buddha Bertentangan atau Berdampingan. Ini sedikit slide. Bante berada di Palembang mengadakan Dhamma Talk. Ini Bante, foto Bante beserta Bapak Ponijan Del, kemudian Ponijan Po ya, sorry, dan ini para panitia, dan ini Bante berkenan untuk mengelilingi beberapa tempat di Palembang, ini di Pulau Kemarau ya, sepertinya. Oke. Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Yang Mulia Bante, kepada Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia (TBCM). Kami sangat apresiasi atas event ini dan juga terima kasih telah berkenan memberi kami kesempatan untuk ikut mengisi acara event commemoration terhadap Yang Mulia Bante Dhammavuddho. Semoga silaturahmi antara kita tetap berlanjut. Kami punya kesempatan juga untuk berkunjung ke Malaysia, ke wiharanya Bante. Kami juga berharap semoga dengan event ini Theravada di Malaysia semakin maju, semakin berkembang, sehingga banyak yang tercerahkan. Sekali lagi terima kasih, semoga semua makhluk hidup berbahagia. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Ya, saya adalah Biku Vipula Silo Tera, anggota dari Sangga Theravada Indonesia STI, mengucapkan turut memperingati ya, meninggalnya Bante Dhammavuddho Tera, di mana ya Saya selaku pembina Provinsi Jambi pernah mengundang beliau untuk mengadakan Dhamma Talk di Jambi tahun 2008 diinfokan ya. Juga ya karena saya adalah kelahiran dari Provinsi Sumatera Utara dan setahu Bante bahwa Bante Dhammavuddho banyak berperan di tahun 2000-an untuk mengadakan Dhammadesana dalam bahasa Hokkien ya. Ya, kendala bahasa kadang-kadang membuat dhamma itu tidak bisa tersampaikan pada yang tidak bisa bahasa tersebut ya. Tetapi Bante Dhammavuddho mendiang berjasa menyebarkan dhamma kepada orang-orang yang terkendala oleh bahasa tadi. Ya. Sekali lagi ya, Bante ucapkan ya, semoga mendiang jasa-jasanya dikenang dan semoga mendiang Bante Dhammavuddho terlahir di alam bahagia. Sadu.
Wait ah. Brothers and sisters, we hope that you rejoice and also feel touched in the outpouring and touching tributes, and also inspired by Venerable's contributions. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, thank you. Yeah, brothers and sisters in Dhamma, apologies for the technical issue that we are facing earlier. Brothers and sisters in Dhamma, once again, thank you so much for staying with us and for being patient with us. We shall now continue today's commemoration with the main highlight, the launching of the book, Venerable Dhammavuddho, A Life Well Lived. We would now like to invite Brother K.C. Tan, Deputy President of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, to deliver his opening remarks.
Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, most respected members of the Mahasangha, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. This morning, we are going to witness the launching of the book, Venerable Dhammavuddho, A Life Well Lived. This book is launched to commemorate the first anniversary of the passing away of our most beloved Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathera. The Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia and the organizing committee of this very auspicious Memorial Day would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all individuals and organizations who shared photographs and anecdotes of the late Venerable from their personal collections and archives. We thank Venerable Tavaro, the current abbot of Vihara Buddha Gautama, the family members and disciples of the late Venerable Dhammavuddho for their unstinting assistance and support in producing this gem of a book, and for allowing us to organize this special Memorial Day event at the national level in Kuala Lumpur. We record our deep gratitude to the editorial team at Nalanda Buddhist Society for completing this beautiful publication. This publication without the indefatigable team of Dhamma Sevakas at Nalanda, headed by the affable Brother Tan Ho Soon, with his fantastic team comprising of Sister Lim Ka Hong, Sister Fo Ai Lee, Sister Parwadi Ramasamy, Brother Lim Ajit, Sister Nandini Tan, Sister Fong Li Quen, and many others. And a very special thank and appreciation also goes to the TBCM Monastic Advisory Panel, namely Venerable B.Sri Saranankara, Mahathera, Prakru Udom Dhammapatiban, Venerable Agachita, and Venerable Jutipano for their very warm and kind tribute to the late Venerable. And across the Straits of Malacca, all the way from Indonesia, we also have Bante Vipula Silotera, the Chief Pade Sanayaka of South Sumatra and Jambi, and also Ibu Megawati Tandera from the Sikadama Sriwijaya Buddhist Society of Palembang. Thank you so much for your very warm and kind tribute to the late Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathero. We would also like to say special thanks and gratitude to Brother A.K. Nelson, the President of the Sri Jayanti Temple, for allowing us the use of this very sublime and beautiful hall, and also for the delectable food that he prepared for the committee. And not forgetting the Zoom technical team, headed by Brother C.B. Kui, Brother John Lee, and also Brother Chi Seng, for putting up this fantastic event together so that you can zoom in. And also not forgetting our MC, Brother Brian Go, for his splendid and delightful presentation this morning. And of course, to all the donors, both individuals and Buddhist organizations, for your generous sponsorship, which enable this book to be made freely available to the public. May the merits accumulated by our joyful compilation and production of this book be dedicated to the late Venerable Dhammavuddho Mahathero. May he rejoice in our wholesome effort and attain the highest bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother K.C. Tan. And to continue with the launching ceremony, we have prepared a video for the book launch, which will be launched electronically. Most Venerable Dhammavuddho, the monastic advisory panel of Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, Chief Abbot of Singapore Buddhist Temple present the book to 7 representatives. And these 7 representatives are fellow members of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. First off, we have Mr. Wong Teacher, representing Sinara Metta Buddhist Society, AMBS. Brother John Brahmasari, Sasana Adi Buddhist Wandana Society, Buddhist Maharashtra. Chia Aungye, representing Seremban Buddhist Vihara and Seremban Dhamma Buddhist Society. AK Johnson from Great Family Association. Representative of Great Family Welfare Association. And Brother Chief Juju, Common Prayer Association. Thank you, Venerable. Brothers and sisters in Dhamma, let's put our palms together in our white, most Venerable, so they bring vaccines and to also do the transfer. And for this, I'd like to invite who will represent all the devotees, or symbolically all the water for the transference of the.
Before that, they will decide each and every one of you focus your mind towards the qualities of wisdom, Dhamma, the present. Please get those yourself as well as other things in the we go various parts of the places they are taking part. There are family members from Australia as well, from the last many years. And each and every other devotee that one way or another, many people touch, many ways, also in the love. Let us reflect, recall all those wonderful things what you've done with the Venerable as well as for the many other activities. Reflecting, recalling all those wonderful contributions, practices, and development each and every one of you, one way or another, the great mentoric thought in your own mind, let us focus and radiate the exam and must be developed while we stand with hands. Let us dedicate merit throughout the program, not only today, number of days, weeks, and months. It together collective affect each and every one of you, especially the TBCM members. Their gratitude appreciation for the way lead Venerable advisors. Dhammavuddho is one great contribution towards Buddhist community, Malaysia, as well as for the other parts of the world. We highly appreciated his simple approach as well as his great humbleness and great compassion and generosity as well. Many of them known to him with the Sutra, Shari Sutra studies. Not only that, he's part of Dhammavuddho part, and he has another part of that, it's a charitable part. He's willing to help for the needy, helping wherever they are able to help, especially for the charity activities as well. I do remember the recent program, he went personally to the school, the Malay school, Chinese school, as well as the Indian school, to distribute school license, as well as whenever people ask help him, he ever willing to help of this person's capacity, as well as for the work that we have as well. We reflect all those wonderful contributions, what he done to his Buddhist community, as well as for the needy. Collective merit, let us dedicate and transfer merit. Especially TBCM, they are the council today taking the active role to represent the Buddhist community in the country, part and parcel members, to take support and contribution. Sangha members continue, I strongly believe it, they continue support going to given to the Buddhist council to continue wonderful services, that's most important, and reflect each and every one of their great work what you've done. And let us dedicate transfer merit to the most venerable this Venerable Dhammavuddho part today for what he commemorates of this merit. Let us focus each and every one of your mind and let us dedicate to transfer merit. You need to do it respectable. Represent for the Venerable Council, is going to dedicate each and every one of you take part in the physically as well as for the mentally, dedicating your transfer merit by understanding versus the soul for the
Now, before we actually conclude today's presentation, we'd like to inform you that Monday, 22nd December, 21st December, to the 22nd Tuesday. On Tuesday, 22nd December, we'll be having a memorial service for Venerable Dhammavuddho, Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple Istanbul, at 7:30 to 8:60 p.m. Right? So for those of you who wish to actually join the memorial, please, you're more than welcome to join us at Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple. So brothers and sisters, today's commemoration ceremony has come to an end. And kudos to the organizing committee and also the volunteers for making this happen. And on behalf of all our devotees, I would like to thank the organizing committee and volunteers for bringing the temple once again closer to the comfort of our home. And for all of you who are watching live, we hope that you will rejoice and also inspired by late Venerable Dhammavuddho's contribution. And on behalf of Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia, we would like to thank you for your kind and esteemed presence, as you have bring us so much joy, happiness, and for making today's event an eventful one, and for making it happen despite the challenges that we're facing this year. And also, we'd like to apologize if there are any shortfalls. And I'd like to also say a big thank you to Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia for giving me this wonderful opportunity for being able to do good deeds today, a dana, which I consider a dana, for being able to actually be part of this auspicious ceremony today. And once again, on behalf of Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia, we thank you all, and stay safe, stay hygienic, and may you be well, happy, and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.